Okay, now we know House Republicans accusing the White House of stonewalling the investigation into that now bankrupt solar panel company Solyndra. The House Energy and Commerce Chairman Fred Upton says the committee is still trying to get key documents from the administration, and the effort is like, quote, pulling teeth. What about that on the Senate side? Jeff Sessions, ranking Republican on the Budget Committee. And Senator, good morning to you and welcome back here. We are still pulling teeth. What's going on here?
You know, these agencies are accountable to the American people through the Congress. They have a responsibility to be open about how they spend the public's money. They're not agencies free to do as they wish with the American people's tax money. So I asked about 6 months ago for information relating to 7 of these highly advanced loans, or loans that were moved rapidly through the system. 3 of them over $1 billion, and have not received any response since. And I think it's unacceptable.
That was 6 months. That was 6 months ago. You haven't heard anything?
We've not, and I've written. This is actually the 3rd letter now we've written. Congressman Issa in the House joined with me. He has the power to subpoena, and we intend to insist that these documents be produced, because we need to know how these loans were done. Some of the companies seem to have had political inside pull. Some of the companies look to be in financial difficulty, like Solyndra, and we're talking about billions of dollars. And I think the American people need an open understanding of what happened.
Two questions on that. With regard to the politics, have you been able to prove that political favors were accomplished, achieved, or was that the target yet? Have you been able to prove that?
Well, several of the individuals involved in these companies are closely tied to the White House, who've given money to the White House, made multiple trips to the White House, seem to clearly have inside contact with the highest levels of the White House. And frankly, the President, the Chief Executive Office of the entire federal government, ought to be demanding full accountability about these loans and to make sure his administration handled them correctly, but we don't seem to be having support there either.
With regard to the subpoena, how long do you want to wait? 7 months, 6, 7 months more?
Next Tuesday. That's plenty time. We've been asking for this for months now, and so we have a deadline, and I think it's reasonable that Congress would insist that we have this information no later than next Tuesday, and that's been conveyed to the Interior Department.
What is your expectation of getting something by then, sir?
Well, I'm hopeful that we will, but actually there does seem to be a pattern throughout this administration now of just stonewalling these requests. So I do think that it's good that we have a committee in the House with the power to issue subpoenas that could enhance our ability to get this record.
You're saying Tuesday's your deadline. If you don't get anything by next Tuesday, you'll go subpoena route?
That'll be my request to the chairman in the House. The Senate committee chairman are all Democrats and are not being supportive of these kind of subpoenas, but the House will do so, I believe, and hopefully we'll get the information one way or the other.
Some are others suggesting that perhaps you get partial information, which continues to delay. We'll see if that's the case or not. The administration is hitting back in a political sense against Mitt Romney during his time as governor of Massachusetts. Is that a fair comparison about a loan of $1.5 million given to a solar energy company there? Is that apples to apples or apples to oranges, do you believe?
Well, each one has to stand on its own. Our concerns are these loans were issued for political reasons, for politically favored companies, for politically correct energy companies, and may have had favoritism, and also that they're not sound. In other words, the taxpayers may take a big loss. So each loan would have to be defended or criticized on its own merits.
All right, Senator, thank you. We will be in contact before next Tuesday. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
All right.